Hello everybody and welcome. Today I'd like to do some work on this tree. I know it's not easy to see it, but it's this one. It's the Japanese maple raft tree that I planted in this huge stone pot. It's growing in the shadow mostly because, well, I thought it could use a year of good growth. So I'm going to do some trimming today, and all the trimming that I do, I'm going to try to make cuttings of it, and I'm going to cut off also the leaves that are not completely okay, like these ones that look a little bit dried out and stuff like that. So I'm going to try to find some structure in this tree now, well, let's come a little closer to start this. So I'm not completely sure how this will look on film, but I'll try my best. So this is the tree. This is the tree at the right side, and this is the tree at the left side. I hope you can see it. This is supposed to be the main tree, and as you see, I only have a few, not too long shoots here. And this is a tree that is supposed to be in the back, and look at what I have here. It is enormous. So I'm going to balance this out by just doing nothing on the main tree and cutting back all the growth on the other one, and this will give me already nice cuttings. Same here, I have a tree on the back, which again I'm going to clean up. These are all supposed to be good cuttings. It's important, this cutting thing for me, because this is the only field Japanese maple that I have, and this is an ugly leaf. I'm going to get rid of it. It's not doing any good. So all the old leaves, the bad leaves, I'm going to get off. And I'm trying to show you, I think you can see it now. This part is the main tree, and it's supposed to grow a whole lot. So I'm going to get rid of all the other stuff that is too long. This is a side branch of the side tree, and I'd like to have some growth here. Now I don't have it. So by cutting back the shoots here, I hope it will backbud in other spots. This was a branch, it died back last year, and now I have a whole lot of new little branches here, and I'm going to keep two. This is an interesting spot. It's very difficult to see it. So this is a branch here, and it's starting to have some nice ramification, but it's very long. So I'm cutting this back. And the same here. Same here. And of course I have to do the same on the back, but I'm not going to film this because this is ridiculous. So I'm going to finish up the cleaning of the tree, and I'll be back when this is done. So I'm just removing a few burned, or I don't know. Couldn't be burned because it was in the shade all the time, but we had some frost, and then it happens that some leaves just curl back and die. So of course it is not possible now to do a complete and perfect trim of this tree because you can't see a thing. But the point is, everything that comes from this main trunk is untouched, so it's going to grow, gain vigor, and probably fatten this tree, and the rest is, well, calmed down. It will probably start budding all over the place, and then in the winter or in the fall or spring next year, I don't know, I can select the branches that I need. So I have also now quite a lot of foliage that I removed, and I'm going to make cuttings with this. So to do so, I have a little spot here right next to the tree, and this is the air layer that I made. I should probably check if it's working. Anyway, it does not matter because I'm going to leave it at least till the autumn to make sure that I have enough roots, if there are any, I don't know. So I'm going to put the cuttings here. Now, not every cut you make with a branch is a good cutting, but this is the good season. We are at half May, and now how to make a good cutting? Well, I'm not a top guy on cuttings, but I've been trying to read some. Now, I heard that this is a good cutting. It's about 15 centimeters. So I'm going to cut off the little growing tip. I'm going to leave these two little leaves here. I'm going to remove the rest of the leaves. And I read that this is a spot where there are quite some natural hormones, so this is a good place for roots. And then I'm going to take my rooting powder, put it in it, take a chopstick, make a nice little hole in the ground, like so, and then insert the cutting and push the soil around it. So that's why you have to do it one by one, because otherwise it is difficult to push the soil around it. Okay, so I'm going to do that for quite a lot of cuttings. This is a real small one. I might try, because I have also a little tray that I can use, so why not? Well, I found 17 really big ones, and you see here I cut off a part of the leaf. Like I said, I'm really not an expert in cuttings. I've been successful with cuttings, but it was just by chance, I must say, because when I cut something off, I just put it in the ground, and then if it works, well, it works. But now I've been reading about it, because I'd like to have a whole lot of these Japanese maple little trees to maybe start a Japanese maple fusion one day. And well, yeah, if you do fusion, you really do need a whole lot of trees, and 17 is, well, it's not a lot to do fusion, because you don't have spares then and stuff like that, so it's not good. So regarding the cuttings, I heard that to make a successful cutting is good to do that half May, June, when when the wood is not completely woody, but it's starting to show some maturity, then rooting should be a easier thing for a cutting. So these are the big ones. I think I have 17, it's 4 by 4 and one here. Okay, 17 is not good, I want 18, so I'm gonna find another one and put it here. I don't know why 17 is not good, but I just don't like 17. Okay, so this is 18. 18 is much better. No, it's not, but anyway, it's one more. So I'm going to see now if I can do something with the little branches that I cut off. So I have 5 little pots here, and I put a pot ground in them and made it nice and wet so that I could make some holes in it, because if you don't make it wet, the holes, they collapse. So I'm making 4 little holes, like so. Okay, and then I have the cuttings here. Well, as you see, some are already a little woody, so that's one possibility. And I'm removing the leaves and the top, put it in the water, put it in the hormone powder, hop. And I'm going to do that for 4 little cuttings. This one is much softer, but because I don't know what works best, I'm going to try different possibilities. This one is already starting to become woody. Leaves off. Powder, and 1 to go. Yeah. Thing is, I think that you have to try different ways. This is really soft, it's wobbly. Okay. And now I'm going to compress the soil around it a little. And like so. Done. So these cuttings are now for 10 minutes in the water. Just going to add a little of this substrate, so when I water it, it will distribute the water better. Just a ½ centimeter. So I have different kinds of cuttings now. Already quite woody, already a little harder, but some soft. There are 4 to 5 little cuttings in each little pot. I think this is gonna be okay. Now I'm gonna let this drip out for a few seconds. And get rid of the water in here. I'm going to put these little pots on this tray, because it's the tray for cuttings. My wife bought that a few years ago, and it's a thing with, you know, you can open it and close it. So I think I'm going to leave it half, I don't know, like that. So this concludes the cutting of the Acer Palmatum raft, and I hope that it grows well, and I hope the same for the cuttings in the big pot and in these little pots. I'll keep you updated, of course, certainly about these cuttings, because, well, cuttings, if it works, it's always cool to have some spare trees. You can do a whole lot of nice things with cuttings, especially if you are interested in fusion trees like I am. Because these cuttings all come from the same mother plant, it will mean that they have exactly the same DNA and that they will look exactly the same. So this is always an interesting thing to think about. So in the meantime, thank you for watching. See you next time.